Eh.
Good evening, everybody. There's another episode of A Tale of Dice is upon all of you. The game where I lay out a perfect little story right in front of all of us here on a Valentine's Day, and these four idiots keep interrupting me with things they want to do and ruin everything. Once again, happy Valentine's Day. Know that you are loved. If you don't have an actual Valentine on this day, know that there are very, very many different ways that you are loved, and you can always call Charlie. That's yeah. Sorry, I talked to Charlie about this, and he is opening his business once again to share all of the infinite love that he has to give. So,
I am not single, but I'm ready to mingle. Oh
dear, how modern of you.
I know. Also, check it out. I've got two keyboards that I've got going on right now.
Why?
There you go. One for actually playing, and one computer is working on all the actual playing part, and the other one's for chat and interacting with chat. And Chad is a pretty cool guy. I have a big crush on him, so I want to keep interacting with him. So I've got this keyboard for chat.
Perfect. In the
You go flirt with Chad.
In the meantime, in her beautiful red glow, we can also welcome Crystal back. She was off last week, but she is back here, and we will be giving her a little bit of attention to recap in a bit what her tribulations were in the last episode, where she was feeling very ill, because, well, I'm looking very much forward to this episode because there's a lot of shit going on, and I have no idea what my players are going to do, and it's very exciting. So, without further ado, shall we play a game?
Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. I was so thankful that you waited for a couple of seconds, because I was not ready.
I was just keeping my mouth shut until you said, and we're back. Like, I don't know. So, to quickly jump back into this game. Last we left off, our heroes, known as the Pack, a group of traveling adventurers, had found themselves within an ongoing struggle between two forces of nature itself. On one hand, the Seelie Court, an organization of fey creatures in a wild dimension known as the Feywild. And on the other hand, the Court of Shadows, an organization from a dark dimension known as the Shadowfell. From the Shadowfell, the members of the Court of Shadows have been invading the material plane, while the forces of the Seelie Court have been trying to thwart them and push them back from whence they came. A clear and cut war between light and dark, so our heroes thought at first. But now, after they have, well, obliterated and rooted out a stronghold of the Court of Shadows, they are dragging with them a captive. One of these darklings, one of these members of the Court of Shadows, carrying the name of Zell, is now being transported by the party members back to the Fae to, well, do whatever. While Zell is informing the party on why the Court of Shadows is exactly invading this land. Not because of some evil scheme, but because long ago they were banished from the sunlight. And now, being able to walk in the sunlight once again without being killed outright, they are here to try and conquer, if you will, a place in the sun for themselves.
Yeah, so quick summary, Feywild is bad now. Yeah, that's
I'm not sure.
concluded.
We'll get to that in a bit. But now that the Darklings of the Court of Shadows are being cast in a somewhat more, well, understandable light, if you will, our heroes are now doubting what they should do, if there really is such a clear-cut good and bad side in this conflict.
Yeah, there is. Feywild bad, the other guy's good.
Noted. So, as we zoom in, our heroes are now one day away from their meetup with the Fae once again. already realizing that taking with them a captive into the stronghold of the Fae wasn't such a safe idea, they have contacted the Fae and have opted to meet up a one-day travel away from their base camp. A little neutral ground, if you will. As on this last day, the party members once again wake up to continue their travels. Hannah, as you wake up, you have been feeling ill the last couple of days and not really capable of much more than just keeping up with the rest of your companions. You think back on what has happened the last couple of days, and while you visualize all of this and go over it once again with your newfound, vigor, what does cross your mind?
Well, so there's a couple of things. One, I'm not really fond of Cell. I'm all for inclusiveness. And of course, they have a story, the Fae has a story. Sure, but he made up a lot of excuses on why they made us feel, especially me, feel bad with their eggs and stuff. And the only explanation he gave us was, oh yeah, we need those eggs to make more weapons. That's not a good excuse. You're ruining my nature. You shouldn't be touching my nature. So that's not a pro for him.
They did not ask for consent. They didn't.
No. And it was like a ancient tree guy. He was poisoning with his egg thing, and that's not cool. So
And now Crystal's favorite bush is all rotten away.
Well, we saved him in time, right? Yeah, we did.
Well,
did.
just saying, a couple dragons flew there again, so not sure what's happening over there.
Oh, damn it. I should have stayed there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
To quickly recap, what the Darklings and the Court of Shadows are doing with all of their darkness. In the words of Allison, they are basically radicalized and will grasp at all this heretical strength to aid them in conquering another place in this world. And before we go any further, Vivid Line, thank you so much for your continued support of this ridiculousness with your 10-month sub. You go, boy. That's awesome. Thank you very much for being here with us. We love having you, and your hair looks good today. Like, did you do something with it? Is it a new conditioner? If so, keep using it. It suits you very well. All right. Now then.
Oh, wait. There's one more thing.
There's one more thing.
This, my last rant. Like, this is my TED Talk, so I need to make it whole.
I guess you can do a little bit more ranting as you weren't there last week.
Right?
So.
Okay, so there's this little piece that you guys kept forgetting, that I'm Fae. It's okay. We're all like, oh, well, no, we're just neutral and we don't have any connections with the Fae. And Hannah was just in the background being there like, sure, my parents probably don't live in the Fae or something like that, I guess.
Technically,
Anna isn't technically fully Fae.
Yeah.
We asserted that with the Cold Iron, so...
But we do know that one of her parents at least lives in the Fae.
Yeah, but that's his or her problem. Or their problem.
Excuse me, technically all of the Darklings are also Fae.
Yeah,
They're
but
banished from this plane.
And
you know,
Allison,
you know where I'm going.
So just because of the color of their skin, they're no longer actual Fae?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they're poisonous and bad. That's
I'm not specious, but... So... Vivid Lime did wash his hair today. Nice. That's good. I didn't yet. I will do after the stream, though. With that out of the way, as Hannah also wakes up together with the rest of the party members, some a little bit more well-rested and a little less agitated than Hannah, you pack up your things, and after breakfast is had, you are now on your last day of travel before you are meeting up with the Fae, who now call themselves the Dawn of Summer, as they are the dawn of a summer's day burning away the darkness of the Court of Shadows, yada yada yada. So, what would you like to do?
who wants to go first?
Well, I have to admit that Dawn of Summer sounded really cool, but now that you added the yada yada, it doesn't sound that cool anymore. Iroh kind of haphazardly tumbles out of his tent after a good night's rest. Yeah, Iroh likes to sleep, so he doesn't really like to wake up. He's a bit groggy, but not at people, but just at existing in the morning.
At life.
Yeah, I don't think we invented coffee yet, or I don't think there's coffee wherever we are. So Iroh just kind of stumbles out of the tent like, So, what were we doing again?
Another morning, another dawn, where we are not dead. I say it is good day. Food,
Yes.
Iroh. Breakfast.
Yes. This
Yes.
wakes me up pretty well,
You-
actually. Just the word food is like, oh yeah.
No,
Let's do
I mean, your turn to cook.
Okay.
I'm already on it, don't worry. I knew it was your turn, I took over.
Well, that's easy.
Zell steps forward and also sits himself down on one of the tree trunks here around the remnants of a campfire from last night. As the short black hair is pushed to one side, slightly pointed ears, betraying his Fey heritage, his deep gray skin from a long time living in the Shadowfell, with the cloak, the clandestine cloak, the magical cloak that you guys had found that makes him a little bit obscured to the eyes of anybody as he sets himself down. Along his neck, still the icon of the Court of Shadows, the black winged creature with small beady red eyes which he uses to cast his spells. As he says, well, I guess that this is as good a day as any to die. Once again, we can take a detour. We can go somewhere else, but
Detour is not happening. We will first talk to them, then we talk to your guys, and we'll figure something out.
I just hope this cloak works as good as I hope it does.
Do you mind having a talk with me in a little bit? I have some questions before we have our
Yeah,
conversation.
I'll get up. I'll help you with breakfast.
Iroh, in the meantime, can you send Lenore out to see where they are currently? Have her scout a bit?
Oh, of course. Lenore, okay, you need to, we are expecting company, good company, or at least, we are kind of doubting that. But we are expecting people. Can you see if they are coming, arriving shortly, where they are?
And how many?
Lenore looks. Iroh does have a little bit of short hair nowadays, right?
Yeah.
So, Lenore, your small little raven companion, looks at you, sees that, like, because you laid your head one way, the hair is split a little bit at one point, and as a good little mother, she pecks a little bit, pushes it down with her beak, and eventually, as she is satisfied with your physical appearance, she flies off.
A hairdresser as well.
Training him well, or her, I should say.
Yeah, I
No,
am like
she's training him well.
I am an absolute amazing bird trainer. I am training Lenore incredibly well.
Definitely. All right. What are you guys gonna do? We need to set up a perimeter.
We shall go there, yes, to meeting place, to meet.
We're probably earlier than they are, if all goes according to plan. We were closer.
Then we wait. We'll be fine. They are not expecting battle, yes?
Probably not. Are we expecting battle?
Well, they will probably be there before you,
Oh.
because you designated the place one day's travel away from them, and you still, at this moment, have one full day of travel before you get there.
Okay, my bad. Makes sense. Then I remove that sentence from existence.
So Grakal hands over a little. Well, for him, it's a very tiny pinch, but for Hannah, it's a good bunch of trail mix, some nuts, and dried berries. And he looks over at her. His large. Well, he looks over at her from the side, his large yellow eye focused on her. If they attack, what will you do?
Depends on who attacks first.
We will not. But if they are angrier than Grakal, then maybe they attack. But Grakal made oath to protect little rat.
I can't fight either of you. It's just I don't know if I can make a decision between you two right now.
Yes.
Hope you understand.
I do not. But Grakal does not understand many things in this world.
Doesn't mean I don't love you.
Yes. But if fight happens, then please do not get in way.
I won't.
Will be dangerous.
I'll
Yes.
probably step back, I
But
think.
maybe Faye better than we thought. Always difficult to see.
Mhm.
Did not think. Still think Zell, bad guy. But maybe Grakal now knows there is place for becoming better.
I hope so. I hope they see that too.
Yes. And if not, we will be mean to everyone until they stop being mean.
I don't know if I will ever be able to fight the Fae before I find my parents.
You think they will kill parents?
I'm afraid I will end up fighting my parents.
Feywild. Big place, right? It's
Yeah,
like
but who
this
knows?
world. Yes?
Yeah, I
If
guess.
they live there, does not mean that when we kill one Fey, all Fey dead, or all Fey enemy. You killed one Fey, and Fey still not enemies. Yes?
Well, they were at the beginning. Like, they saw us as an enemy before, so...
Yes. And their mistake. But maybe arrange for same thing between them. First enemies. Now, not enemies. Now, things existing in same world.
Yeah.
And if they are mean to each other, we will punish them.
I guess. I'll just... I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet.
Grakal not sure. Never sure. Grakal never know what he will do until he does it. Is better way to exist. Easy. Good.
guess I'm going to try to have a talk with Melora as well.
Yes. And Garkal kind of gives you a little push. Good, Hannah. And Garkal walks off, content.
So,
And you take.
Yeah. Anna's dead. Easy choice.
As this conversation is going on, Zell and Allison are walking through the nearby bushes, gathering some berries and other food from the nearby bushes. As Zell eventually just gets his finger next to the cloth, scarf, whatever it is that Allison is wearing there right now, as he pushes it aside, and the teeth marks of the place where Allison was bit by a vampire become apparent, as Zell does a very look at it and says, "You're tempting fate by letting it fester for so long."
what other choice do I have?
Look, as many things I have said before, I'm only telling you this because it is also in my advantage. I do not, try to say otherwise, but we could try a ritual. Normally, we need the blood of the vampire that bit you to turn you into someone that can control the vampirism within them, but as you don't really have any other choice, we might as well try.
You said we needed another catalyst. Do you have any idea what?
I do not, but look, I am not sure what is going to happen after we get there tonight.
Is this something that everyone will be able to see from me? Like with magic or anything else? Does Faye, would they notice? Would I endanger my group by just walking in there?
The threat is twofold. One, I don't know if they have any kind of magic to detect that, but I do know of it, that it exists. If they would say, for example, you would take me into their midst, and they would check me, perhaps you would also bleep up at their radar, I do not know. But another problem is, if you cannot control the power inside you, it will start to control you.
What can I expect? Is this something that will fight my will, or...
It's not like something that will fight your will. It will be you. It is a part of you. First, I guess you could say that you get more agitated easily. Agitation turns to frustration, aggression, bloodlust, and then bloodlust of the more specific kind. Do you really want to subjugate all of them to that?
I do not. You were talking about a ritual. Last time you said we needed something else in order to do it. If you now currently say that we can try without, I'm willing to try.
Look, we still need a catalyst, something to be used by it, something that... Normally something that would be connecting to that vampire, but... Is there anything else that... Is there anything else that we have that connects to him? Lord Fairwind, I mean. The one that bit you.
I have his diary. We have a staff that was his, I think.
Well, it's something, I guess. Magical items normally get bonded with somebody. If that has happened, then perhaps there is some essence of him still in the staff, but I don't. It's a long shot.
What about your necklaces? Would they work?
Our necklaces. I don't know if he didn't need to carry any of them.
But he was creating a lot of them, wasn't he? So doesn't that
No.
mean there's some kind of connection?
No, he just oversaw us creating it. I was the one to create most of them together with my companions. Go ahead and make an intelligence check, Allison.
It's natural 16 plus 3 is 19.
Ooh, nice. All right, so going over some things. There's, of course, your vast knowledge of herbalism and different things. Like if you could get something to try and trick the ritual in a way, herbalism might be a way to go. Other things that come to mind that at least connect you to Count Fairwind is indeed like the staff. But also, Grakal was bitten by Count Fairwind as well at some point. So those are basically the three options that come to mind. Herbalism, which you are very, very capable, Grakal being bitten, and magical items that the Count had invested in before. The staff being one of them that you still carry with you.
All right. So I recently created these cognitive mutagens. They were created by material that is found in the Shadowfell. And literally has to do with my cognition. This vampirism might as well. Is there something I can distill from this that might help?
Go ahead and make an herbalism check. And as you guys are in the outskirts of this, I will go ahead and roll something for Zell as well to see if he can aid you with that, with his knowledge. And that is going to be a 23 on his occultism, so you get a +1 from him.
Do I have a hero point, Charlie? No. That better be high. That's pretty high. Natural 19. That's pretty good. Herbalism?
Herbalism, yeah.
33.
33. You let your mind race for a moment, going over all of the different schemata that you know in your book. Your eyes dart from one side to another. You eventually also see like all the math equations, and you turn into Zach Galifianakis for a moment as he sees everything around him. And then you begin to realize that it should be doable. Like all of these options, none are really going to be good, but it's something. Should be doable.
Is there... Like, I don't need to have this power indefinitely. In general, if we can just trick it and make me be able to control it for at least another 2 weeks, then afterwards we can have a normal ritual. But
look, you cannot trick this as part of the ritual. Technically, you die and you turn into an undead.
And there's no undoing that afterwards, is there?
I do not hold the cure for death. I've heard of magics that can bring people back from the dead, but that is powerful and risky, to say the least.
The thing I'm worried about is that my soul's already very fragile. I'm not sure if I will even survive this ritual.
Neither do I. Well, I've given all of the wisdom that I can on this.
How long would it take to perform the ritual?
The ritual. A day. But I figured that it'll take some more time to prepare, as he nods towards the rest of your party. So, breakfast?
Yes, and we walk in, and as we're walking in, so there, I was wondering, the dragons, why are they aligned to you? Why are they with the Court of Shadows?
Excuse me?
The Shadow Dragons, why are they with you?
Why are they with us? They are part of the court.
Why?
Why? The court is a vast organization. There are more than just darklings inside the court. What do you ask?
I look at Grakal. Some divine intervention is letting us know that they're up to no good. So even if you guys might be, you Darklings, I'm not sure if this counts the same for those, the others in your organization.
Well, that might be the case, but as I've said before, we do not have the luxury to choose our allies. As he says the next sentence, he gazes into your eyes very deeply, Allison. I would expect that many vampires within the court also have hidden agendas and could be considered evil.
Okay. Let's have breakfast.
Zell eats a couple of small nuts and berries, but that's about all he can stomach right now.
Allison is silent for the rest of the morning and the rest of the road.
All right. Eventually, as... I'm just reading chat, goddammit. Eventually, as breakfast is had, the tent is packed up and pushed back into the bag of holding. The party members are ready to continue their travels. So, are we going for the natural job of all of the party members? The standard travel regime. All right.
Yeah, unless I can prepare at least the start of the ritual during our travels, or is that something that has to be done stationary?
The ritual, like if the ritual that Zell talked about, like turning you into a true vampire from just like a mindless beast, that is like it's a ritual. Like you need to lie down and there's chanting involved and skill checks and all that sort of stuff.
Okay, but there
That's
were
something you can do on the fly.
there were preparations for it, right? So can I help with those preparations, or is that?
No, the preparations are like the ritual lasts a day, and that's including all of the preparations.
Okay.
Talking about the preparations, he nodded to the rest of your party, like, dude, you're gonna need to prepare them to be like, hey guys, so I'm gonna be a vampire now. Like that sort of preparations he was talking about.
What if we're gonna have like a discussion with the Fae, and then it turns out that the Fae are actually good and vampires are bad, and then Allison's like, oh yeah, talking about vampires being bad. Hey guys.
Psych.
Surprise!
Anybody get any blood? So if that's the knowledge that you also grasped from Zell. Like the ritual is a typical ritual. Like we need to draw a pentagram and some candles. Everybody needs to wear robes in like a dungeon or something like that.
Makes sense. Some
Right?
evil deities, yeah.
No, it's a ritual in the same way that we have like the ritual spells costs.
Yeah,
so you need to be stationary somewhere, and it's a skill challenge, and you just need to be stationary and put it into work.
Okay. Yeah, so Allison's silent for most of the rest of the travel, and then will just do his own thing.
All right. Very well then. So, if that is the case, breathe in the fresh air, everybody, as the beautiful forest of the Cragged Hills is laid down before all of you. Hannah, as you lead this adventuring group, go ahead and make me a survival check to see how well you traverse the beautiful forest lands.
Wasn't it nature?
No, to find your way, survival.
Yes, but because I'm like really good with the
You're-
nature here
It's
and
always
stuff.
good
No?
survival,
Okay.
Crystal.
Is it still +2?
Excuse me?
Is it still +2
No,
or
no.
1?
A couple of
Oh.
days are already past.
Dang
Didn't
it.
she get a bonus just by being in the Cragged Hills?
That bonus
Yeah.
is still viable. That's a +1 bonus.
Oh, 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a 23.
23. All right. You've traveled these lands many times before, and this day is no different from all of the others that you've traveled here. And as you guide the party through small valleys, along creeks, along the different dense foliage patches that the land is known for, it seems that you are having a normal pace. It is a normal success, and it doesn't seem that any trouble comes your way because of it. It's not too difficult to traverse these lands. While this is going on, Iro, I would like you to, well, first off, go ahead and make a perception check for Lenore, and I'll keep track of that one for now.
Ooh, this is gonna be good. I only need to find the leaflets
Okay.
with the character of Lenore, but I rolled a 19, so that is going to be a oh, it was actually the same, so it's going to be a 30.
30. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. I'll keep note of that. And then for you during these days of travels, please, because you are on the lookout.
That's a little bit less, but still pretty good. That is going to be a 22.
22. All right.
Yeah.
Noted. Grakal, you are keeping your weapons at the ready, taking on a guardian
Defensive position.
Yeah, very well. And Allison, you are just keeping to yourself this day?
Yes.
Okay. Overcome with thought, you make sure that, well, you figure stuff out along the way. While this is going on, I will go ahead and... Oh, you know what? Charlie, why don't you roll me a d20 in chat? So that's just exclamation mark d20.
Remember what happened last time when I rolled a 13.
Oh. All right, so with that...
Fuck, dragons again, isn't it? It's gonna be dragons again. I don't know why I'm complaining. I love dragons. Let's kill some dragons. I'm ready.
All right. No. This is going well. Eventually, as you guys make your way through these forested lands, as you push over one small hillside here, overladen with different trees, Iro, you are gazing at the horizon, keeping watch, and eventually, as you turn your head to the right, you can see just a little bit of some sort of white stonework on the bottom of the forest floor, a little bit downhill from you, probably like 100 feet away from you, but mostly covered in foliage from your current vantage point.
Guys, wait up. I think I see something, and I go take a look. I push away the foliage to see what's
Iro
what's on the
jumps
ground.
off the hill, and you can see different leaves go flying as this small little halfling monk makes his way through the underbrush. And eventually, as you push past the last layer of foliage, you see a overgrown white statue of some humanoid figure, half sunken away in the dirt, with a similar white stone altar at the front of it. Different symbols across it all. What languages do you speak? What language do you read, I should say?
I can speak and read common, gnomish, and halfling, but I can always make a scribing check to see what kind of
Right.
language
In
is
that
on
case,
it.
go ahead and make a scribe lore check for me, please.
Let's have a look. That's going to be a 14. I rolled a 2.
14. Nice scribbles. Could be some actual letters or runes. Could also just be like dents from weather and plant life being a dick against the statue. Not really making anything out of it.
What do you find?
Guys, I found a rock and it has some scribbles on it, but I can't really I do not recognize it.
Let
at
me
the
have a
moment.
look. Do I have any recognition?
Allison, go ahead and make me a society check.
Natural 10 for a, I think, 24.
24. All right. You recognize these different scribbles as some very, very old form of Elvish. And as you gaze at the statue itself, it is weathered very, very much, but it does look like a depiction of some sort of elven deity. Like, you know how elven deities are normally portrayed, and this seems to fit the bill of the old elven statues that you've heard or read or learned about.
Okay, do I recognize the deity?
Are you trained in religion?
Nope.
Then I'm afraid that looking at the statue, you can just see, like, that seems like an elven dude, but that's about all you can make out. Is anybody of you trained in religion?
I'm just coughing. Oh,
Oh.
also, I'm trained in religion.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit. Same. All right. Then as Allison, like, mumbles over his tongue a little bit about, like, oh yeah, some sort of elven deity, the both of you step up. Zell does as well. And his tactic during your travels is still to be casting Detect Magic to make sure that no magical traps are laying about. But as he steps forward towards the statue, we can also put in that, well, it does have some sort of divination aura around it. Divination being the school of magic that lets you, like, scry on people, know things, that sort of stuff. All right, so both of you, Grakal and Ira, go ahead and make a religion checks for me, please.
18.
18?
19.
19. All
Yeah.
right, so the DC is freaking 20. So now Zell is going to go ahead and make a jet. Nope. That's a 3 plus, I think, 14. So that's a 17 on his end. So now, all of you are just staring at the statue and eventually, like, pooling your knowledge a little bit. Some of you, like Grakal, some vague resemblances, like where you come from, the jungle of wild growth, there are elves, like wild elves living in the same jungles as your tribe did. And you do remember that they also worshipped some gods and whatever. You got the better ones in your tribe anyway. And Iro, you think back at your studies, but oh my god, there are so many gods. Like, the elves have their own pantheon, the dwarves have their own pantheon, halflings themselves also have their pantheon. Why are there so many gods? And you can't seem to remember which this one is. I will give you this, however, that the altar standing in front of you, it is somewhat of a offering table.
Well, how about we leave, like, a little bit of food, some berries or something, as a sort of offering. It will never, it won't be bad, I think.
Sure. Hannah? Wanna make an offering here? With something?
Sure. So berries, you say? I
Whatever
guess.
you want.
Okay, so I want to offer two things. I want to offer berries and my broken morning star.
Your broken morning star.
Yeah.
All right, so how do you sacrifice these things? What do you do with them? You just put them on the altar and see if magic takes over, or?
I want to put them on the altar and pray. I
All right.
guess.
Fireball!
How do you pray? How does the Hannah do the praying?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to offer things, but I'm not really familiar with this. So, should I light this on fire, or do I
Offering
just?
things very different for Grakal.
How do you do it?
When Grakal offers things to God,
Yeah.
he find prey, splatter blood on altar.
Zell and Melo, all both of them step back.
Yeah, but we don't really have the time to find something to kill, right?
Little prey, maybe rabbit, or bird. Can quickly find one if you want.
But can't you also offer your weapon? That's why I wanted to give my morning star, because you're giving something that's important to the god.
You can try. Gurkal not know, silly fake gods. But Gurkal know that when good sacrifice, you grab by neck and you slice throat and you spray over altar. Then the god will know that you have sacrificed something, a life. Only way in Gurkal's tribe.
Allison steps back as well.
Okay, so what if we try my weapon thing first, and if something happens, cool, and if nothing happens, we find a rabbit or something.
How about just some berries or something?
I added berries. I added my weapon and berries, so
All
it's
right.
food and my weapon.
Okay,
Guys,
so
that's fine.
I think that's actually a good idea. So while Hannah is doing her thing, I'm gonna walk around a little, do a survey wildlife. To make a it takes 10 minutes, and then I make a survival check against the DC you determine.
Why do we want to make this a blood ritual, actually?
I mean, every ritual is a blood ritual if you want to do it right, man.
It's a Gurkal thing.
Guys, I don't know a lot about my deities, but I do know that I don't think they're really that into blood rituals.
Let's just try this, and if the gods aren't satisfied, do Gurkal's thing. At least we tried, right?
Don't anger the gods, and I step away.
I'm doing it the nice way.
Gurkal takes a couple of minutes as he takes a stroll along this area to get a clearer view of what the frick is going on. While he is doing this, is there anything else that you would like to do? Hannah, you were talking about shedding the berries and your mace on fire?
Well, first I want to try it normally, and I want to pray like I do for Melora, so try to connect with everything's around the table, like with the energy, and then try to connect with the god, maybe, in some sort of way. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to try and burn it on fire, I guess.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
Perception?
When all else fails, put it on fire.
Yeah. Perception is 30.
30, all right. As you sit down and do the thing that you are known for, but also the one thing that you know the best is communing with nature, you try to reach out once again with your druidic magics to whatever deity might be connected to this small statue standing in front of you. And as you try to do so, you perceive that these methods do not align with this statue or this deity, and it doesn't really seem nature-based, what you see standing here.
So fire wouldn't work.
You don't know.
Either, right? Oh.
You realize that trying to connect with it in the same way that you did with nature did not seem to work because it is of a different nature. That's what you get.
I'm going to try flaming sphere.
All right, so you have your berries lying on top of the altar, and you have the broken, damaged mace lying there. How many berries do you sacrifice with the mace? Is it just a handful as a gesture? Is it a meal worth of rations? What are we working with here?
As much as I'm allowed to give.
A full ration is okay.
As much as you are allowed to give, as
from
much
the party,
as fits on the thing. Okay, allowed from the party. Okay, cool. So how much food do you sacrifice?
I'd say a full ration.
You're just shifting the responsibility of a very abstract number to us suddenly.
Okay,
we don't know how many fucking berries the goblin
I'm going
ration.
for
One
72.
Ration.
You had just enough food to make the travels to where you came from and back.
In a
So-
ritual, you don't sacrifice more than one ration. It's a meal for a god.
72.
Let's have a discussion about this for like an hour, shall we?
72.
72. Okay, so
Yes.
so the last, basically what you're doing right now, I'll rule is you will be sacrificing the last of your food.
Yes.
No.
So if
No.
you for whatever reason would be like longer in these woodlands than was the idea, you will be without food, and that will become a problem the next
I can create food. It's okay.
No,
Right, there
Iroh
we-
is only gonna give you one ration. You're
Iroh,
not gonna get any more.
I will
It's the
stomp you
city.
in the face.
It's the city god
I can
statue.
create food. We're
Gods
not
are
going
not
to die
real.
from hunger.
Gods are not real. It's a city god statue.
Give
You're gonna
me
go-
the freaking berries.
No, you gotta get one
Give
ration.
me!
That's more than enough for a god.
Note to self.
Hannah turns red.
Note to self,
Iroh still
remove
only
these
gives one
kinds of
ration.
random encounters from the table. Thank you.
Okay, so give me berries. I will get new berries.
You get some
and
berries,
I
but
will
you're not
create
gonna get
food so you can
72
eat.
rations.
What?
I'm gonna give you
Iroh!
some berries, but not all of the berries.
Iroh,
Hmm. Nice, Ave.
please.
I'm
Give
gonna
her
give some rations.
some food.
Yeah, of course. Some
Thank
food.
you.
As Allison says this, he like the hand that he points out is like trembling. And Allison, as you do so, you eventually like realize how clenched your fist is, and you just gasp a little bit yourself, and you pull your fingers from your hand, and you can see that the nails have dug into your skin a little bit, and a couple of small trickles of blood are now coming from your hand. Were your nails always that long?
Well, I'm not carrying nail clippers, so I get that.
So-
No, I give Hannah one rations of food, so a meal, a
Fine.
sufficient meal.
So with that, as the meal is set next to the mace as a actually quite nice offering, like there's a platter of food together with the mace. It still has a crack in it. It wasn't destroyed, it was only broken, the mace, so it's still like sort of intact. And as this is laid upon it, Hannah, you cast your flaming sphere, and as it apparates, the meal catches flame, and the ball of fire that you've created is almost sucked into them. And it burns, but it burns way, way quicker than you actually thought it would. And as you do so, there's nothing left but a very small pile of ash eventually. At which moment, the artifact at the side of Iroh, the green icosahedron, which breaks the fourth wall, poofs out a small bead of green energy that also enters the statue, at which moment a small apparition appears over the statue itself, giving like this ghostly image of how the statue would have looked like before it was so weathered by the elements. At which moment, Allison, you actually know its name, as well as Iroh, and Grokal, you also recognize, oh, that's the Smarty Pants that the elves worshipped. As this is a shrine to Labellas Enoreth. And at that moment, the elven god of knowledge seems to accept your offering, Hannah. At which moment, a poof of energy enters your body. You don't really see it, you only feel it, as it starts off from your chest, and then eventually it goes over to your mind, at which moment you see things more clearly than some time before. Your mind, you didn't even realize that it was clouded, but all those clouds are going away now, evaporated by this burst of knowledge, as you get a +2 to recall knowledge checks for the rest of the day.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
So a recall knowledge check is basically any, like if I'm gonna ask you make a religion check or make a nature check to see what you know about those sort of things, those are all recall knowledge checks, so you get a +2 to that. At which moment, as the apparition from the artifact subsides, the statue, you can see, also slumps over a little bit, apparently going dormant after the sacrifice has been made.
Allison looks at his hands, cleans it off a little bit, and just continues without talking again.
All right. After the altar has been fed by a nice hearty meal and a mace, the party continues their trek through these forest lands.
Did the artifact activate?
Yes.
The artifact did activate, yes.
Okay, sorry.
Eventually, Grakal, you do complete your survey of the surroundings, because this took a couple of minutes, at which moment you also get back to the party. So go ahead and make me your survival check to see what the frick is along this place. Mm-hmm. Yep, you were surveying the surroundings, weren't you?
Oh, well, yeah. Sorry, my bad. I thought we were just
If you want
moving on.
to quit that, then you can do that as well. But...
Well, yeah, I was busy anyway, so that makes sense. So that's just 19, 28.
28, and that's more than enough for this area. So, what?
So now I get to make a recall knowledge check, so a nature check for the animals that live here.
Ah, very well. Go ahead.
With a -2 penalty, so that evens out the bonus you just gave us. Natural 20.
The recall knowledge check is only for Hannah, I'm afraid.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Well, natural 20 either way.
Is still going to be enough, and that will be a critical success. So you realize a lot of different things. You realize the normal animals that live here that you would suspect, different kinds of birds, different kinds of small critters. You also realize that a very peculiar bird is living here, which seemingly has a beak like this. And you begin to recall back that, you have heard stories about these birds called axe beaks, which are these large bipedal birds with, you guessed it, beaks in the form of axes that they can use to chop down, who could be a little bit vicious. You also find new traces of the different flocks of river drakes that also frequent these lands. But also something else. You eventually find some tracks of a large feline, nothing to be alarmed over, until you begin to count the number of feet this creature has. And it comes to a total of 6, which is weird.
And do I know what kind of creature that is based on my nature check?
You know what? Because you have a natural 20 and the lore dump, the Feywild is also very present in wild growth, the land where you come from. So these creatures from the Feywild, known as displacer beasts, might also be known to you. Large panthers with 6 legs, with large barbed tentacles protruding from their back, being able to, due to some unknown mechanism, seem to shift in place, making it very hard to hit. Very deadly, very aggressive predators.
Grakal speaks up as Hannah finishes her ritual. Everyone, found something to sacrifice. Something good. No?
No. It worked. We don't. Let's not. Maybe we don't want to anger this. No.
What did you find?
No.
Barakanta is 6-legged beast with barbed tentacles. It moves like shadow. Great prey. I found it once with tribe. Killed 2 of my brothers. Good hunt.
Do you want to hunt it?
It is dangerous beast. So, yes.
Don't we have to go on? Move on?
Yes. Fine. Yes, let us go. Grakal seems to kind of, he's having a hard time with not hunting a mythical beast, but he recognizes the importance of our mission somewhat.
Good.
All right.
Good news, yeah.
With this new snippet of information under your belt, the pack continues their trek through these forested lands. As the hours go by, morning turns into midday, turns into the late afternoon, at which moment the large shadows of the surrounding mountains begin to cover you as a chill of a early autumn begins to come over all of you, as you begin to realize that you must be close. And just as this late afternoon is entering your day, Lenore perches back on your shoulder, Iroh, and flies up, begins to squawk a little bit at you, at which moment one of you, or all of you, I don't know, find some vantage point up in the trees, at which moment you can peek over the foliage and see this large rock protruding out of the earth, the place where all of you would meet up together with the Fae. Which moment Lenore comes back as she spits out a somewhat peculiar little piece of what seems to be leather, probably ripped off of some worn-out armor, with a very familiar dark blue purple coloration, the leather of the Fae warriors of the dawn of summer, giving you the idea that they're probably already there waiting for you to arrive. Zell takes
go?
Oh, sorry.
How do we go about this? Do we bring
You can
him
tell
with
me.
us? Do we keep him away at the start? Talk to them first?
I do not want to get near any of them.
I say we keep. And Garkal looks at Iroh for a moment and thinks back. Garkal has some flashbacks of Iroh lying to everyone during critical diplomatic moments. Situations such as the mercenary compound where we brought back the situation with the king, where we pretended to be emissaries of some lord or some other lord. I don't know. So Garkal has a flashback to all these situations.
And the conclusion is that we need Iroh in this diplomatic situation.
So he has this flashback. He says, Iroh can look after Zal in shadow of tree.
For
while
the
we
last
speak.
time, it is pronounced Zell.
I think I'm very
Zal.
much
You
needed.
will last day alive on this earth.
I think I'm very much needed in this situation. What if there are hard questions that we need lies for? That's where I come in.
We agreed not to lie to the Fae anymore.
Yes, no lies. Then we come out with Zal. And
I have two questions. First of all, if we can't lie to the Fae, then they shouldn't lie to us as well. We need to use that against them. And what is the signal that I can come out with Saul?
No, you too. Look, the only thing that I know is if I walk out there, even if they do not recognize me as one of the enemy, there will be questions. Who the fuck is this new person that you have brought into their midst? And
A
if that
friend.
goes down, it doesn't matter how good my disguise is. I cannot go there.
we do not mean to hide you. Only wait for good moment to show you. If we approach with you, maybe wrong idea. So you come when we mention that we brought someone. Yes, Iroh? Is that okay?
Yeah. So when you say we brought someone, I'm like, surprise! It's someone from the other guys. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I thought we have discussed this. I would keep my distance of all of this.
No, but we
We would
discussed that
keep-
we will keep you safe.
We keep distance from Fey camp and army. This is neutral ground. Safe place.
That is
You
not
will be
neutral
safer.
ground in this.
You will be safer when closer to Gurkal and Iroh at the same time.
I guess I don't really have a say in this, do I?
Nope.
Also, you do not have say in this.
How will we go about this? What do we want to do? We want to bring peace? How? What will we say? Let's make some, well, let's be a little bit more tactful than just walk in, say, hey, we got an enemy of yours, a friend now.
We ask for we ask for what happened. We ask if maybe place for forgiveness. Maybe say Gurkal almost vampire. But Gurkal better now. Maybe others better.
I mean,
Yes.
not a whole. It's not that the whole group will be bad.
Yes.
So the thing I'm thinking about myself is that we try and distance the Darklings from the Court of Shadows. See if we can find another place for them. If it's really only the Darklings that the Fae are after, then I am leaving this conversation and I'm done with this war. Just so you guys are aware. I am not fighting a war just on a grudge.
I agree.
We do need to hear their story as well, though, because we only heard the other side in this case.
Yes. Zal still smells funny, and Gurkal does not like funny smells.
Okay, so we're gonna go in, gonna ask for their story, see if there's any way we can reason them into peace, and we go from there. Correct?
I guess so.
Gurkal made promise. Zal will not be tortured.
Okay. Instead of Iroh waiting with Sel, won't it be wiser for you to wait for him? You're our strongest warrior, and you're not really the talkative person in here. Iroh is.
Yes. We'll wait with Zal.
Thank you.
Zal. Zal.
Wait,
Name is difficult.
so Gurkal and I, or only Gurkal?
Only Gurkal. You will
Cool.
join us, Iroh?
Score.
But don't lie. Or twist the truth. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
I hope you know what you're doing. At which moment, Zel, or Zul, or whatever letter you put between the Z and the L, a K maybe, I don't freaking know, puts up its hood, at which moment the shadow over his face almost seems to make him look like a human.
So,
Imagine the cloak taking effect as he stands, arms crossed, a little bit hunched over next to Gurkal.
so Gurkal has an idea. Gurkal, as we're walking towards there, and we're done discussing this, Gurkal will kind of wink over Hannah. Hannah, if Gurkal must protect the Dark One, I do not want Dark One to run. You take rope, bind around Gurkal, then bind around Dark One. Leave some distance. That way. If Dark One runs, must carry Gricol.
Sure, I can bind you guys up together.
Yes.
Kinky.
Is it really necessary?
Yes. Gricol wants to trust. Gricol wants to help. But I've seen too many bad things come from things your friends do. Much darkness and pain. So, no, cannot trust you. Not yet.
Let's get it over with. The waiting is killing me already.
Survival?
If you want to tie, like, do you
I
want
think
to
it's
like
sleight of
bind
Oh.
his hands?
No, just like
No, one hand
just a
to the
really
another.
nice,
right?
nice tight knot around the waist.
Okay.
For
Okay, so you don't want to bind him. Do realize
Nah.
that like with his hands free, it will take like a moment, of course, to like untie the rope. But it's not like he's gonna be stuck on that rope for hours and hours on end.
No.
Like that's not.
No, it's more that if he tries to run and tries to make a surprise out of it.
Yeah, like he'll at least have to use a couple of actions to get loose. But still,
Yeah.
okay. So
Well,
go ahead.
if we keep the knot on my side, then he's gonna have to cut his way through. I want
And
it
it
to
would-
take time.
If
It
you
would be suspicious if you would do so.
well, it's gonna look weird that both of you are bound together anyway. So I guess that suspicion is something that will be present either way. But like, okay, so if you want to bound the both of you together, there are going to be like knots on both ends. Like, and he is a person with like a rope surrounding him. So there needs to be like something. Basically, what I'm going to tell you is he's going to have his hands free. It's not going to be super difficult. He's not going to be bound there for an hour for something like.
No. I just want him bound. That
Minutes, you know.
yeah,
So
perfect.
just so you are
Just-
aware from the situation.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I just want no sudden movements,
No,
kind of
fair
deal.
enough.
So
Go ahead
if
and
he
make your
tries to run, and like we can do like cool combat things where he's swinging around and swinging like an axe,
We're gonna
like a club or a swing. I don't know.
Oh man.
Whatever one does with things on ends of ropes.
I guess I have to turn this into a combat encounter at some point then, but we'll see. Survival.
28.
28. Zel or Zluk is very uncomfortably like his breakfast is pushed up a little bit as you tie it very tightly around his waist, too tight to just like wiggle to the bottom and be free from it. But still, there's a knot on his side, and it is very, very secure.
With Gurkal, you just put it under his breastplate, and you just hook it up to some of the straps there, so it's nice and easy.
Yeah. All right. And with that, if the last preparations are complete, I guess we will walk on forward. Now, won't we?
Gurkal starts laughing as we're walking through the forest. Sorry, Wouter.
What is no, it's okay. But what is the marching order? Like, how far ahead are you guys? How much distance do you want to keep between you?
Hannah,
Mm-hmm.
you're the one that is most aligned with these people. I think you should take the lead in this conversation. You have the most to win here, or the most to lose.
How much space is there between Grikal and Zel and the rest of the party up front?
Call and sell like 10 feet.
Nah. I would say we're walking like 60 feet behind the party.
Yeah. Call and sell between them
Between
two.
us, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 feet.
And then-
Well, maybe 5 even.
About 60 feet, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to hear the 60 feet. Okay, 60 feet is basically in view, right?
Yeah.
So that you know. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but we're meeting somewhere near forest, so I'm just gonna wait as much as the edge of the encounter as possible, if that's possible.
What would you like? Do you want to keep in view of your party, but as far away back as possible? Do you want to be outside of the encounter so you don't even see your party? What is?
No, preferably I just want to be able to come out from behind a rock at a dramatic moment.
Okay, so
Or a
60
tree. I'll take a tree too.
Okay.
Sorry.
if you do realize that if you try to go for that, if an elf has good eyes, he's gonna spot you from like.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
The rest of the.
I mean, I'm a fucking giant ass dragonborn.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't think stealth is gonna be
Dragonborn
my.
in full play.
I was already.
It's gonna be difficult. Yeah.
I was already gonna say, like, I was already picturing a tree and Gurkal just standing behind it, like, I can see them, so they can't see me.
All right. So now we've got that out of the way.
Yeah.
As all of you walk up, and it is up as you begin to get on a sort of slope further upward, and different ridges, not too high, only like a meter or two or something, are eventually following each other up in 20, 30 feet intervals. And as you get to the large jettoned piece of stone out of the ground, you can see that I would say 10 or 20 meters in front of it, you see a familiar face. The muscular... Oh, Gurkal?
So, as we're walking up the hill, Gurkal starts laughing and looking at Zell. We are... In my language, Truk, it is, when you are like a blood brother, someone you march into fight with, ready to die together. But it also means, in this language, bound, but we are also bound. We are with rope, but also we are maybe going into death together. It's funny, because same word mean two things, but both things are also happening.
It seems that the word also means different things in other languages.
What?
Let's just walk forward.
Hannah turns blue, by the way.
As the large dragonborn is laughing it up, any resemblance of separation between the two halves of the party is, thrown out of the window, if you will, as the three of you first walk up. Well, the four of you, actually, with Mail on yourself. Well, I guess five of you, because Lenore is also in the shoulder. Iro, there are a lot of pets in this party. As you can see, standing up high there, Dimitra Longshot, the appointed leader and captain of the Dawn of Summer, the offensive of the Sealy Court, here to vanquish the forces of darkness, pouring into this realm from the Court of Shadows. With her long, dirty blonde braid over her back, she stands on sort of an opening with different rocks jetting out, overgrown with moss. The wind waving her long braid a little bit. The tattoo along her one eye, as if she has a scope tattooed around it, with her bow in one hand with an arrow notched below it. Allison?
How many elves do I see around us? Like,
Go ahead and make a perception check.
How many elves do his elven eyes see?
32.
32, nice. You don't see elves yet, but you do see a couple of places where you can spot that some, things are hidden within the foliage. As you walk around with that, you would spot 4 different places. One on the side of Dimitra on one side, one on the other, and then 2 others on each side of the party. As Dimitra looks at all of you, she begins to say, "So what is going on? Why this meeting out here? Who is that person with you? What news do you have?"
Can we talk in private?
This is as private as you're gonna get.
Look at Hannah.
Well, we have some questions to begin with. We cleared the nature spot we were supposed to clear, and we made it whole again. as we said we would, but we ran into someone that told us a story about how all this fighting began.
If we want this conversation to stay as civil as it is now, I think we all should put our cards on the table. Who is this person traveling with you?
I look at Allison.
With the commander of your enemy with us. That's why we didn't want to meet you over at the portal. We're not your enemies. If we were, we would have met there. We're here because we want this war to end.
Hand goes to a fist, and from the 4 places, as well as 2 others, different elven warriors all come up. They don't notch their arrows all the way to the back, but they have those arrows notched and pointed to the ground in somewhat of a defensive position. And 6 are around all of you. 2 other ones also porch up from behind Grakal and Zel, as one of the elven warriors steps forward and says to the both of them, I think it's time you join the rest of the party.
Yes. So Grakal walks up and he kind of pulls with one finger just the hood down as they approach.
Of course. At which moment, as you all walk together,
Grakal has his shield up.
Mm-hmm.
He's just walking his spear is pointed down at the ground, but his shield is up as he's kind of walking next to Zell in defensive position. Catch an arrow for him kind of deal.
As Dimitra takes a look at Zell, her eyes dart quickly to all of you, and then to Zell, who just stands there with his hands up. Velenar, take his jewelry. As one of the elves, arrow at the side, comes towards Zell, curves around it, and gets the blackened stone from around his neck, pushes it to the ground, and then gets out one of his short swords and breaks it down. At which moment Dimitra takes a look at all of you once again, gives it a moment.
Now, can we talk as civilized as we started?
All right, so it seems that this person doesn't have you enchanted, at least.
He does not.
We just want to know the truth. Your truth. Whatever that is. We just want to know where we should stand and where this all began, because we want to be neutral. I myself want to protect the forest, especially. But I just want to know how this happened in the first place. And how we can maybe dissolve this.
So let me get this straight. This Darkling has been spouting against all of you, and now your allegiances aren't as sure as they were before.
Well,
The thing that's currently happening is that we want to solve this war. I don't stand on either side. I've been with you because I believed in your cause. Right now, if this war is only based on a grudge, I can swear to you I am walking away.
Good to know at least that your belief is so easily changed.
If
Now
you...
then, you've provided the Dawn of Summer with a great service up until this point, and for that you have earned some leniency. But let me make one thing very clear. I do not care where your new information comes from or what you believe, but I have a job to do here. And whatever ideas you might carry within your hearts right now, if they endanger me or my men, then will and must take actions to prevent that.
It's not
So,
gonna endanger you. It is maybe gonna render you without help from us, but danger is a big word.
We are not your enemies, and we will never be.
no, but
I
he
would-
is. Look, I was afraid this would might happen, but still, I came here with some good news that I still want to impart with all of you. I wanted to congratulate you. Because it seems that since you went on your mission, the assault has stopped. Nearly 2 days ago.
We
The
have
moment we...
killed Count Fairwind.
Well, that puts 1 and 1 together then.
It was a marvelous death.
And I would love to hear... And I would love to hear the in-depth stories of your victories. But I'm getting more and more afraid that that is not in the cards for today. So, because you have done a great service to me, my men, and the Sealy Court, you have some leniency. You have some opening for questions, but... well, let's just see where this goes.
May I ask my first?
She nods.
You said you were expecting that this might have happened. Why?
I expected this might have happened when you asked for an audience outside of our stronghold. What else could have happened then? Well,
I hope that you're then also familiar, or at least aware, that we could have just brought your enemy to the portal. We did not.
you're still way too close. And you didn't bring him here for questioning, now did you?
We brought him here so we can talk. You as commander of the Fae, him as one of their party. See if we can resolve this war.
Well, I have talked many of times to him and his kind. Although I must say, I haven't had much dealings with these priests before.
They say, you the hunter, you the bully, they want to live in sunlight, but Fae will not let them. He says that when they come in peace, you come in war, so now they always come in war.
These creatures do not wish to walk in the light. They come here to block out the sun. And Zell for the first time with his hands in the air. That is not true. Oh, do tell me then. Why does your chilling mists, as you call it, wash through these forests? Why do the black eggs that you embed in our lands seep the very darkness into our plane? Because we have to. Because we need the strength to establish a foothold here. So you admit that you were invaders then? Of course we are. What other role do we have to play in your grand scheme of things? What other way to find a place in the sunlight once more?
But it is not this one. And Gurkal kind of gives him a push, like, just a little I don't like you push. This one did not do bad thing to your Sun Queen. His ancestor did bad thing. That is why he is now of shadow. He was given to the shadow dragon.
You think that this one hasn't done harm to us? Ask that to all of the bodies that I have to bury, the life force sucked from their very being by his foul magics.
Dimitra. You are commander. You are not angry Fae. No, you commander. You must see big picture. Not all emotion. Oh, I buried friends. Everyone buried friends. I've killed Fae. I've killed Darklings. We all have lost people. Big picture. What if this little dark rat did not need to be in shadow? What if you say, find a place, stay in light if you want, ask Empire.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
I'm not sure what's happening, but Gurkal's getting angry here. I'm channeling an angry Gurkal.
Since when does Gurkal get angry? Never.
He's not one for anger. So that's so I've rolled a 19, a 20, and a 17 now this session. So
Nice.
bat rolls coming up.
That's not talking.
That's a 27.
That's for when we have to roll initiative.
Yeah, perception. 27.
That moment, you see that Dimitra, during this conversation, she has let her bow just dangle in one hand with her other hand free to make different gestures in this conversation. At which moment, at this time, she also balls her fists and looks to the ground for a second. As she turns back up. You do not know what has been passed by his kind. We cannot allow them to do as they please. Don't you see how easy they grasp at his darkness? How easy he arguments why it is okay to do what he does.
What I
The
see,
Summer Queen, in her wisdom, has banished him and his kind away. And in her wisdom we will follow.
And in
What-
her wisdom, he became a product of his environment.
What I
It's your queen that made him this way. That made him a killer.
as Ira
Go ahead.
says, what I see is an ancestry of radicalized people because they were forced away from their home. They were cursed. Maybe the people back then, in the early times, did deserve this. But to put this curse on every next generation there is afterwards, people who have nothing to do with what happened earlier in that era, that's not fair.
Iro, go ahead and make a diplomacy check. Allison, go ahead and aid Iro in his check.
That's a 24.
Natural 16 for a 30, so +2.
Ooh, 26. Very nice.
Or even a 34, because I have a +4 on these.
Nice. The only thing that I see is something that I should have realized sooner. The Darklings have been banished for a reason. I understand that you do not bask in the light of our queen, as I do. You do not realize the wisdom that she holds. We follow her. That is our way. Now, if you, in your couple of weeks of travel here, have realized some other things, then I implore you to do some introspection and try to ask you this question: if this is not at least a little bit misguided. Please, I understand how things can look as of now. I do not bear any ill will to you, and I can hear in your hearts that you only want what is best. But if you believe that this creature... Let me ask you this. Would you punish a demon for another demon's follies? Would you try to give demons the benefit of the doubt?
Demons are beings of pure negative and evil deeds.
And our
This is
queen
what
has
they're
seen
made
the
of.
same in them.
Well, that sounds like a mistake of your queen, because with all due respect, Dimitra, that introspective thought is what brought us here in the first place.
Remember what I said at the beginning of this conversation, Iroh. You have earned some leniency in this.
We
But
come
do
to you
not
with
insult my queen in
questions.
front of me and my men.
We come to you with questions, and all you show is arrogance. I will take this little dark rat's head, if it is necessary.
At which moment Zell looks at you like, fuck's sake.
I have no mercy for evil. But Kakal has learned that evil is not always willing.
Humanoids. Go ahead, Hannah.
Isn't there a way to find middle ground? Because if you keep fighting, and this has been going on for a long time, they will just keep on bringing their evil negative eggs and putting them in spaces because they think they need the strength to fight, just to fight you guys. If you just try to find a middle ground, try to find a space where they can live, where they won't be fighting you guys, wouldn't that be so much better than just keep on going and keep doing this for more hundreds and hundreds of years? No one gets something out of it. You just keep on losing friends and family.
Yes.
Say it with Beth, Hannah.
You will keep burying brothers.
Save your breath, Hannah. In their eyes, there cannot be a place for us.
But isn't it the same for you? Do you see them living here? It comes from both ways. This is not a way to live. Not for you, not for them. You keep looking around if they will come your way, and if you need to fight someone, if you need to send your daughter maybe into a fight, if they just have a space to be themselves, maybe that's what they need. Just give them a chance so you can live your life as you want to.
So far, that one has said many things. Grakal does not like him or his smell, but he has given reasons. You have only said they are bad. You have not said anything else. Dimitra, you are good commander. Strong warrior, I imagine. But we are wrong. This is not your job. We wish to speak to your boss.
Bring me your manager.
Rukal wants to speak to the manager. Well, first off, Hannah, go ahead and make a diplomacy check for me, please.
Can I aid her with that?
I will allow that as well. But well, no, not because you are asking a completely different thing. Like the thing that you're trying to have is.
But he said yes when I talked, so.
Yeah, no, sorry. This is not enough. It's not enough to give an aid.
Before I roll, do I have a hero point? Maybe. Oh, okay. Okay,
there
great.
Are no hero points for anti-lux in play currently.
Great.
Yeah, nothing.
Where's the book? There it is. 17.
17. Hannah, I hear your words. But the arrogance in all of you that you think that you know this entire battle after just rummaging through it for a couple of weeks.
No.
There are Hannah. There have been atrocities done by these people.
We're not saying that we
Your
know.
captive is right. There cannot be a place for them here. I'm sorry.
We're not saying that we know what the fight is about. We're just saying that this is not a life to live.
I'm gonna make the same argument that I made to him earlier. There are other beings, other humanoid beings on this plane that have lived in warmongering and terrible conditions, that have seen a bright light and changed. There are goblin tribes, there are orc tribes, there are different nations of people that switched and became good. That is the strength of being humanoid. We are not some outer being that is forced into a particular alignment. We can change.
Gricol and Allison both go ahead and make diplomacy checks.
27.
27, thank you.
I already had a thing ready there.
Very well.
31.
31. I see that we have come to an impasse. I see that before me stands a group of adventurers with pure hearts. But my conviction cannot so easily be thwarted. I have my orders. I have my allegiance to my queen. So let me repeat once again that I thank all of you for your aid in this endeavor. If you feel that you are in some way decepted by us, I apologize. But I do not also see that this allegiance cannot continue.
So,
I will allow you and the captive to leave, at which moment all of the different heads go and look away from their bows up to their leader for a moment. That is my decision, and I will carry the responsibilities with it. Now, there will be no more words spoken here today. I must ask you to leave. Immediately.
But I want to say something.
so the only way that this will end, if one of the two parties dies completely, eradicates the other.
I have
That's the
asked you
thing.
all to leave. If you would not, you have made your choice. Do I make myself clear?
I look at the party.
Crystal
Guys?
wanted to say something?
Yeah, Hannah wanted to say something. Hannah wants to.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, people are aiming bows at us.
No, but I want to go. But I want to like walk and say.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
22.
22. As you look at Dimitra, the look in her eyes, as like the rest of her party members seem to like disperse a little bit, isn't as harsh. Her eyes for a second just go.
Okay.
Good. Okay, so as I try to get the guys to move and get moving myself, I want to say.
Iroh moves quite quickly. It's like, okay, let's go. Almost like he's thinking, almost like he has a plan.
Oh no.
What's going on? Iroh was stealing all of their money.
I'm
Well-
pickpocketing everyone.
Yay!
Well, I want to remind everyone that they didn't say anything about giving back the weapon.
Well, I mean, we owe the weapon to,
The weapon
To another party.
Yeah, so we just move.
Allison, go ahead.
What I wanted to say, as I'm walking away, I want to look at her, at Dimitra, and say, I will always feel a connection with you. If you ever need my help or anything, just message me. And I walk away.
Right.
Allison will make a bow. It's a shame. So he says, and he walks away.
All right.
Grakal says, "Haha, told you would not die, but would have been good death."
That
Giselle.
huddle attack did feel pretty intense. I'm not sure if I survived the night.
Is normal day for Pack.
What the fuck was going on over there?
We asserted that we, the Pack, are alpha.
Move the rope now, please. As he pulls on it.
Yes, we'll no longer think you run. Hana, Grakal not good with knots.
And as the pack makes its way away from this meeting, we are going to go ahead and take a little break. At which moment we will be back at 10:02, because why the fuck not? That's also a time. There we go. 15 minutes. At which moment we will continue the story, because I don't want to wait any longer than that, because a lot of shit just went down. Oh my god. Heated arguments.
2?
Yep.
Good,
10:02.
good arguments, but the only it's a shame that they only have one way, and that's their way, and yeah. Oh well, we'll see. We'll see
Well,
what
probably
happens.
the same for the other side, so.
See you guys very soon.
Right. Okay. Break screen. Where is it? Where is
Now
it?
that we still have some airtime.
Okay, we need a new producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. 10:03. 10:03 we'll be back.
Okay, guys,
Okay.
I really gotta pee. Let's make it
Yeah.
10:05.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
Okay.
And welcome back, everybody, to the second half of this episode of A Tale of Dice. To jump back into the action, last we left off, our heroes were for the first time accompanied by two sides of the story. On one side, the Fae of the Sealy Court, fighting back against an invasion of Darklings, while on the other side, the Darklings of the Court of Shadows, only invading the material plane and spreading darkness because they were forced to. Because they were forced to take up arms to conquer a place for themselves in the light. With these two sides of the story, our heroes stepped back to the Fae and implored them to please at least open up dialogue. At which eventually, after a very heated discussion, the leader of the Fae, Dimitra, still needed to decline your offer, citing things as that she trusts the wisdom of her queen, and has learned way more in her months of fighting these beings than you have in the last couple of weeks. And such, she sent you back on your way, seemingly ending the already strained relationship of aid that you gave them, but not before giving Hannah a very meaningful look, and not before doing something that is very strange for her, seemingly, allowing you to leave with the Darkling Zell in your tow, which did seem to rile up a little bit of a fuss with the rest of her troops. Now, as you leave this meeting place, you are left to your own devices for now. What would you like to do?
Guys, I think we should get the hell out of here, and quickly. Those other elves did not want us to leave. We are happy and lucky that we're not fighting this right now, so let's leave.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan, yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
All right. Not 5 minutes of travel pass before a magical message appears into the mind of Hannah. As seemingly Dimitra has found a moment in which she can cast a subtle spell towards you. As a recorded message comes to your mind, immediately you recognize the sender as Dimitra, as he says, "I think I'll take Allison up on his offer of a private conversation. Where can I meet you?" And you
Muted.
realize that you are muted, but only in real life, not in game. As you realize that as part of
Yay!
this magic still coalescing along your mind, you have a short burst of information that you can push on through. You can reply to the message.
Oh, great. Oh, but do I have to reply immediately to? Oh, frick!
The spell
But
is
I-
already wavering.
Do I know places that are?
Well, you do. You did make an offering earlier today, giving you a +2 to your recall knowledge checks. So go ahead and make a
Right.
nature check. So go ahead and make a nature check with another +2 added to it.
Yes.
So in a split second, you go like, "Fuck! I need to come up with something right now."
This is not my thing.
All of you,
I don't
as you
function
guys-
well under
as you guys are
pressure.
walking, you all suddenly see Hannah just stop in her tracks and just go.
Ira just thinks like, oh, Hannah probably just saw a dead bird or something.
Yeah, probably.
Or like a rabbit with a broken paw.
So that's a 32.
32.
Yes.
Split second, you think back on the route that you took to come here, and you realize that if you just track back like 1 hour, eventually there's a somewhat larger stream that actually comes out into a nice, quaint little couple of waterfalls, like in a set, like a couple of places where like the elevations are nice, and it's quite. Oh fuck! I need to tell it to Dimitra.
I tell her this.
What do you say?
So there's this stream. Oh my god.
So there is this tree, but I.
No,
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 don't do
no.
that. Let's start over, shall we? Let's start over. Okay.
Why are you doing
Hannah,
this?
Hannah, what you were going to say right now, from now on, is going in the message. Go.
There is this stream in the forest that has a quiet open space. If you don't know, message me again. Please.
You didn't say anything about the
Or
waterfalls!
Why not about
Allison.
waterfalls?
Allison knows more. I said waterfalls. I said waterfalls.
No!
You said stream. There's a nice stream.
There's a stream in the forest with an open space. That's what you said. That's like everywhere.
Oh my god, I love tabletop RPGs. So, all
I wanted to say waterfalls.
the rest of the party members see Hannah freak out for a second, remember something, think really hard, and then it's done. The rest of you realize that something is up at least.
Guys, we need to find a stream in the forest. with an open space because I can't. I'm not good at. Dimitra asked to meet us, and I think I ruined it for us.
She did what?
I think there was like an open space just like about an hour back with some waterfalls. Maybe there.
Maybe she knows, maybe she doesn't. I told her to message Allison, but I'm not sure if she can. So that's good.
I want to say that.
Let's
I
find
want-
water at least.
I want to say that Hannah just kind of answered Dimitra with, "I don't know, you have to ask your mom." and mom is Allison.
Hey guys, what do you think? A scroll would have been very nice right now.
Well, we used it to get in touch with her right now, so you don't get to bitch about this.
Yeah. Then you should better get 2 scrolls.
Yeah, you earned 10 experience points for that, Hannah.
Thank you. Help me.
Would there be a chance that Dimitra can talk to animals?
You don't know. You can send her. You can send Lenore in.
We can try to send Lenore.
I think that's our best option.
Yeah. Hannah, you are gonna have to tell Lenore.
Aram, good thing.
I can tell Lenore.
No, but we
I
can't
take
give
a
it a scroll.
I take a piece of paper, I
Yeah.
draw waterfalls on it, and we give it to Lenore.
Yeah. Lenore.
Make it say Hannah ... waterfalls. She'll know.
Easily done. Scribbled on a nice piece of paper.
Lenore, this needs to go to Dimitra. She's probably just a bit back.
Go ahead and make a nature check.
I want to tell Lenore what to do with my talk to animals, please.
All right. So the magic
Does something
with
like
magic,
nature check?
so the nature check is not needed. It is a automatic success as Hannah can talk to le animal, and the piece of paper is pushed gently into the claws of Lenore as the small raven flies off.
I do want to tell Lenore that she shouldn't give Dimitra the scroll when other elves are directly next to her.
Give it in private. Got
Yeah.
it. All right. As Lenore flies off, what do you do?
We go to the waterfalls.
Yeah.
All right.
There are waterfalls?
Zell is just standing in the middle of all of you as he said, "What's going on?"
Well, if
Are
I
we going-
understand,
Can we now go to my destination?
if I understand correctly, Dimitra couldn't talk to us just now because she was surrounded by her army, and now she's actually willing to talk in private. So, there's actually a chance for peace.
Oh, for fuck's
Ma-
sake, can't we just go already?
May I ask, what is your destination, Sal? Because I can't remember where you were going to now.
Wherever my life can continue to exist, I want to get back to the Court of Shadows as soon as possible with all of you. Don't...
Kirkall interrupts him and pushes him.
Ah, for fuck's sake!
Stop whining and behave when we meet Dimitra. It is...
Oh, you're talking to me? I'm not
Yeah.
sure because I am not Zal. As he steps up and gets all of the leaves off of him.
Zalf is annoying.
But
is
am I-
being annoyed
But I
with-
become Zul now. I don't even remember.
Hey, Zil. It's okay.
Sorry, Hono.
This is...
Guys, what happened in the break? What the fuck happened?
No.
Oh no, it's canon now.
This is in character actually quite logical. After such a heated discussion, like all of the tension, it needs to be broken. Like if you were super stressed and it subsides, then you just go into this sort of mode. Anywho,
So we head to the waterfalls.
Yeah. as you guys head to the waterfalls, eventually you set up camp there because after this conversation, the last leg of your journey towards this conversation, evening has fallen and it is time for dinner. So it's not a weird thing to just sit at the campfire right now and have a hearty meal. And while all of you are sitting here, eating, but more than so, just waiting, eventually an hour passes. And another hour.
The North dead.
Oh, Lenore has already come back at this point.
Oh, okay.
Did she have something with her or just emptiness?
No. Lenore came back and with a couple of beads of your magic is able to converse with you that she indeed disposed of the message at the right person.
Good.
But eventually, as it begins to creep a little bit that everybody is getting a little bit tired but still wanting to stay awake for whatever is to come, you eventually do see, stepping outside out from the bushes, the elven figure of Dimitra. This time clad in a beautiful dark green cloak that seems to blend with her surroundings. As she steps out, she also takes the hood off, at which moment the cloak itself seems to shift in color a little bit back to the normal light green with golden trim that is carried along her back. As she says, as she holds up the small little piece of paper, yeah, not a stream.
I'm sorry. It's not my good. No, it's not my thing. I'm sorry.
You wanted to talk?
Anna panicked
Yes.
again. Hannah, you are strong. Act like it.
Hannah turns
Recall-
red.
Recall kind of says this teasingly, though. He also kind of.
Allison holds out a cup with some smoothie or anything in it to Dimitra.
Smoothie. Ooh. You guys have smoothies now? Nice. She takes a sip and continues the conversation after you asked her. Well, actually, I wanted to talk to him. She gazes to Zell.
Very well.
You're not going to riddle me with arrows, are you? Depends on your answers, I guess. She sits herself down at the campfire with her smoothie in hand. Look, I still think you are misguided. But we don't have... Well, we've never had the chance to talk to one of the priests before. All of the other ones that were, well, captured by us were either religious zealots or schemers, most of them both. Now, I carry the blessing of my queen with me as she pulls out a symbol of a small golden figure and puts it like on her chest, at which moment you can see Zell squint his eyes a little bit. So if this darkling is wielding some sort of foul magic to deceive all of you, I will not be misleaded by it. So I wish to hear what he has to say for his side. Because you were true in what you said. There is a lot of death on both sides. And if there's some other way that I can reduce that death, I will gladly take it. So, she takes another sip. Zell, tell me honestly, why do you wield the darkness that you have inside you? Zell, being taken aback by this, needs to have a moment to gather his thoughts for a moment, as he didn't really see himself in this situation at the start of this day. What they said is true. The Shadowfell is a harsh place to live. A place that was safe for us because when we were burdened by the exile, we were also burdened by the rays of light. But eventually in the Shadowfell we found the Court of Shadows, and within it, the one that rules supreme, the Crescent King. He replaced the curse within ourselves with a cool dark. Now, while the light still burns our eyes, it does not burn our, for lack of a better word, being. We can walk in the light undisturbed now because of him. And he has also given us the tools to venture forth and fight for a place to exist. But that is your end goal. You only wield the power to find the place. Would you discard it? What do you mean, would I discard it? If you would get a place somewhere, anywhere, within the light, would you discard this heretic power? Well, yes, of course, but that is a moot question. The only thing that allows us to live in the light is this darkness. Then I guess we are still at the impasse that I thought before. But I do not hear lies in your words. For better or for worse, you at least believe them. At which moment she puts the icon back, and like the squinted eyes of Zell go open again a little bit. If there is a way to end this, to really end this, my queen will not grant them forgiveness. But maybe we can at least halt the bloodshed. I am bound to this earth, to this land. While this Darkling might hold these beliefs, the Court of Shadows as a whole does not. And they will not stop. And therefore, I cannot stop. But you are not bound by the same oath that I took. You are not bound by my queen as I am. I do not know where your travels will take you next. What I said before was still true. They cannot lead you here. Not now, not like this, but off the record, know that you have a friend at the dawn of summer. And if there is a way that I can help you, however misguided this belief of you is, I will.
Thank you.
Wait. Darklings and Court of Shadows. Not same person?
Allison laughs and grins a little bit. Don't worry about it, Grakal.
But easier then. Easier for Grakal. Darklings and vampires that are bad people, not same person.
Nope.
So can be friends with Darklings. And he nudges towards Cell. But still kill vampires.
Yeah, pretty much.
Allison swallows a little bit.
Depends on the vampire, I guess.
Maybe. Maybe we go with Cell and talk to Darklings. Get Darklings to leave court. Then friends again? Or neighbor tribes?
both of them, both Dimitra and Zell, look at each other. There is like this moment of where you said like friends, and they look at each other, and they both quickly look away from each other as Zell takes the word. I do not think that friendship is on the table, but we do not wish to kill any more than we wish to be killed. All we want is to return to the light.
So the pack goes with Cell, right? Grakal tries, really.
Huh.
And pack goes with Cell to Court of Shadows. And we say Darklings go to light. And then the pack kills rest of Court of Shadows. And all will be well. Grakal looks over at Hannah, who's giggling.
I'm not sure if we can just kill the Courts of Shadows, Grakal. We can try, of course, but
Weapon made for
they're pretty
killing.
strong, I guess.
Weapon made for killing Court of Shadows. But only bad Court of Shadows.
Well,
Darklings, we talk, say Darklings go back, leave court. Better for Summer Queen. Yes?
yes, but our blessing is the only thing that allows us to traverse these lands. We
No.
cannot just give that up.
Summer Queen. Good thinker. Yes, Dimitra? Good thinker. Summer Queen will think. Less enemies. Even if I do not like them, less enemies are good.
I don't think that's how it works, Grakal.
She is our god. She is our queen. Her wisdom is infinite. If there is a better way, she will see it as well as we do.
Yes, maybe we talk to her.
Um,
Grakal, say good word, but Hannah and Allison and Iro, better words.
No. No, you cannot talk to her.
Talking to a god? Probably not something we should be attempting right now.
I talked to God
You talk to
only
your
a few
god.
weeks ago.
Look, you all have to realize there are a lot of big ifs in all of this. The Darklings will never be allowed back into the Feywild,
I don't think they want to.
but they might live here in some sort of peace if they can refrain from causing harm.
what do you know about the relationship between Melora and your god?
My queen,
Yeah.
I know them to be friends.
Do you know if it might help if I would pray and try to talk to Melora about this?
You do whatever you think is right, but look, I just wanted to come here as a sign of good faith and to see for myself.
Yeah.
We cannot allow them to walk these lands with the dark in their hearts. And Zell takes over. And we can still not walk these lands without the dark inside it.
Dimitra, as one of the Sealy Court, you might know, well, quite a lot about this particular curse. Maybe you don't know why it's placed, but do you know more about this curse, and is there a different way? Or, well, in general, the Court of Shadow now currently possesses a method for them to walk in the light. Is there another way?
To speak of these sorts of magic is blasphemous. Blah, 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 blah. Jesus, brother.
Blasphemous.
Blasphemous in its own right. But if there exists some divine power that has granted them this darkness, I don't know. Again, I don't see a happy ending in any of this, but I
Very
like
well.
to make myself an optimist.
In that case, we kind of know what to do. We'll have to make sure that the Empire will respect these new civilians. We have to make sure that they find a way that they can return to the light. Then we have to make sure that the war ends. It's a long, long road. A long road.
Dimitra finishes her smoothie, hands back the cup to you, Allison. I still think that all of you are misguided in this endeavor. But it is an honorable one, I guess. Make sure you contact me first. She puts up her cloak. Before you get back in these lands. And just travel fast.
Are we
Gee.
being hunted on?
Not if I can help it.
Very well. We leave first thing in the morning. So, what's
Yes.
the route?
Can we finally go to the court?
We will.
You guys took a hell of a detour.
But you were here for plan. Sorry about the kitty on my lap. It's just, the benefits of
Never.
working at home.
Never say sorry for kitties. Never. The plan? Well,
Yes. Do you agree? Or will you betray?
Zell gazes into the bushes where Dimitra just went into, and he says, for all opposite viewpoints, I do agree with a couple of notes of this elf. First, all of you are misguided as fuck. And second, this is a long shot that has no chance of, working. But still, I am a pragmatist. The onslaught that this party of adventurers has created for the Court of Shadows is big. If I can lessen it by bringing you to the court and bettering our relationships, well, that is a win for me and for my court, so...
But will you try to kill us?
I don't think I have that power within me right now.
But if you were to have?
No, I think as allies you are much more valuable. Hey, I'm not gonna lie here and say that we're friends. I mean, you guys have bound me up and killed all of my friends before. I'm just saying, let's take this one step at a time. For now, at least, it seems that while our goals do not align, our routes might just.
Totally understandable, and I agree.
I will take you to the court. And I will see how much leverage I still have within it to grant you an audience with, I do believe that Lord Nictor still wants to talk to all of you. Above that, I do not have any connections, but we'll see what happens.
Lads. Alright. I'm tired. See you guys in the morning.
Very well. This has been a very, very long and weird day.
Yes.
As at least some party members begin to ready themselves for bed, is there anything anyone would like to do before they take a long rest?
I want to pray and try to connect with Melora.
All right.
Iroh's just tired of this whole day, and he decides to go to sleep.
Very well.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary for Gracall. Just
All right.
the regs, eat a lot of meat.
Eventually, as night really this time has fallen and everybody takes their leave and goes off to bed, it is Hannah's watch around a smoldering end of a campfire, at which moment you find yourself in a little bit of solitude and begin to try and commune with your goddess. Go ahead and make a nature check for me.
Oh. That's not a +2 on recall knowledge, is it?
No, it's not a recall knowledge check this time.
But it's still a 36. So.
Jesus! That'll do it.
Rolled an 18 plus an 18.
That was like an
That's not even
excellent bluff.
All right, so as you sit down, the wooden symbol of Melora around your neck, the red and yellow fire coming from this smoldering campfire, eventually also has a hue of purple and blue running through it as the spiral on top of your icon begins to glow in this light blue light once again. As you reach out into nature itself to realize that, once again, everything is connected. Everything is one. Everything is her.
Hannah turns green.
You see your goddess for what she is. How do you reach out to her?
I can see her?
You can see her for what she is. It seems that you have established a connection.
Okay.
How do you reach out? What do you say? What do you do?
I just begin to talk, I guess. Hope she'll listen. Dear Melora, we've been talking a lot lately, I guess. And thank you for that. There's just a new thing that I like to discuss. And I know you know more about this than I do, and I might be stupid for hoping this would work out, but there's been a war going on between the Fae and Darklings. And we want to help, but we just want to help to stop this war, and we hope that you could help us in stopping this war. It's about a good friend of yours as well, and we don't know why she looks at the situation as she does, because, well, apparently she doesn't like the Dark Glint, and she sure probably has a reason for that, but we feel like the war could end if they could have a place on this plane. Maybe I'd like it to be not in the forest, so they would not touch nature or any way, but yeah, I hope you can help. I understand if you can't, because it's a friend of yours and she's important as well, but yes, thank you for listening, at least.
As you leave this beautiful voicemail,
Please call me back, bye.
as you utter this prayer, and
by the way, this was Hannah. Hannah the Druid, just in case you forgot who I was. We met this one time. We met this one time on a mountain, and I just I can't forget it.
Melora has the bad habit of only saving contact information with a first name, and now she has 672 Hannahs. It's like, oh fuck, no. No, but as you sent this prayer towards her, you do realize that you connect with her. And in a way, she does send you back some information. Snippets. As if not really completely able to communicate with you as you would. As the veil between gods and mortals is a grand one that never can really be completely overcome. But there is a vagrant warmth that flows through you at this moment. a beautiful midsummer breeze to cast away all of the autumn chills that have come here, as you feel a mixture of pride and gratitude as she speaks. My will has been done. Shadows driven out. Lands made whole again. Roots brought back to their network. A shepherd freed by you. Death is as much a part of nature as life. These lands are free. Go where you are needed.
Thank you. Yeah. I return to my watch, I guess.
You come back to your own senses, tapping out of this gigantic network of nature. And eventually, as you come back to yourself, the tree next to you is only a tree. The bush you are sitting in is only a bush. And eventually, as your watch ends, you tap on the shoulder of your next companion and continue the circle. Allison, go ahead and make a fortitude saving throw, please. Do I still have an anti-luck left, Charlie?
Nope, there are none.
No, not too bad. All right.
We are out of everything.
Natural 13 for 22.
22, all right. An early morning greets all of you, as autumn is taking its grip on these lands, and cold winds hit the side of the tent, giving this flapping sound that wakes everybody up earlier in the morning than usual. As all of you step outside of the tent to start a new leg of your journey, you gaze out and you can see that there is still a large shadow being cast by the mountains surrounding you. It's probably somewhere around like 6 or 7 in the morning, where the night sky is only now just turning into a lighter blue, but you can still see some stars here and there. As you do so, all of you do also see Allison walk out of this tent as if it were midday and the sun be shining right in his eyes as he's squinting, and it is as if he's had a very, very bad hangover. He doesn't look so good. Allison, you are still yourself.
Shall we, guys? I'm having a little bit of a migraine, so I'll probably be silent for today. But let's travel, shall we?
Can I help you?
What?
Maybe we can make a tea for you or something? That always helps me.
Can Gorkal not just do lay on hands or something?
Oh yeah, that might help.
What is a migraine?
I'm having a headache. But
Like the time you drank too much.
I'll be fine, guys. Don't worry. I'll make sure to make some tea for myself in a little bit as we have a break. And I'll be
Go ahead
fine.
and make a deception check.
Gorkal walks up to him and gives him a lay on hands.
21?
21. All right. I'll say with a 21, that's enough. Like the party is not really suspicious of you, so I'll say a 21 is high enough for now.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if that's okay, like it's against our perception DC. It would definitely beat Gorkal's, but there is a part of me that's curious for what Iro and Hannah's perception DC would be.
He
I
has,
think-
I don't know, DM. What do you say?
he has been
Hannah
weird
has me
lately.
beat. Hannah has me beat.
Normally you don't roll against your party members. Is basically
21 just hits my
all right.
perception.
We'll make the group check. So the entire party is sort of skeptical. We'll just say act on your own volitions, because I shouldn't have asked Allison to make a check, because normally you don't roll against your party members.
That's
I'm
fair,
fine with
but
it.
I give him a lay on hands either way.
All right.
Am I gonna
That's
burn?
what I do. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm scared of.
The lay on hands doesn't have any wounds or anything to close, so the lay on hands goes through. Allison, it feels hot, but not as much as to actually damage you or be really uncomfortable. But you do realize that it doesn't feel as good as before. You're beginning
Thanks.
to realize that you're running out of time. Well, yeah.
Did it help, Allison?
A little bit. It will pass.
Will it?
It's been a long week, guys. Give me a break.
Very well. We have Courts of Shadows to kill or talk to. See what happens. And Grakal walks off, content with the answer.
One thing before we go. Can I have my staff back?
You had staff?
Yes, the staff that Hannah now carries.
This is yours?
Oh.
Well, yeah, Yes, it was mine before you took it. To be fair, I now also am wearing your cloak. I mean, this, well, as much belongs to you as it does to me right now.
Thanks.
Trade, perhaps?
Did we
Wait.
keep Hannah's old staff?
I thought we
Yeah.
gave him my fire stuff.
Oh,
Well, if up until now, no. But if you want to give him your fire staff,
Well,
what do you
I
do?
guess.
look at that. now.
I kind of put my stuff on. Well, Allison put my stuff on this one now, so
But you can take it off.
yeah. But
It is my staff.
here,
thought
I
you
give him the fire stuff.
Give him one of the...
No,
Okay,
I
let's-
also heard talk of some other staff, wasn't it? As he looks to Allison with a gaze.
What other stuff?
Yeah, we conversed about some other staves that you also had. One that you looted off of Count Fairwind, I believe.
Wasn't that
Wait.
this one?
Yeah. Wait, no. But
It's not the fire staff.
I'm so confused on what stuff I have right now.
You guys have- The party has
You have the staff.
3 staves in total.
Yeah.
The conjuration staff is
Yeah.
gone already, right? We already.
Yeah.
We ruled that you guys had it.
No. The conjuration staff was Acadius took it.
We had a conversation about it earlier in the
Oh,
session.
that we have it after all. That's fair.
Oh, okay. Well, if he wants the conjuration staff, I'm fine with it. I thought we didn't have it.
No. We ruled that the loot was still yours, right? For now,
We'll talk
Yeah,
over
decision.
it later. Yeah.
it's here. The staff is here.
Great.
Well, if you prefer conjuration magic over fire, then
Just give-
Iro, give
the word.
him
Please.
give him the conjuration staff.
Hannah carries the.
Yeah, I have the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Can we just?
We
just
give
get
it.
the staff now?
We
Thank you. Thank
give
you.
it.
Give him the staff.
Great. As he looks at it for a second. This will do nicely. Now then, Hannah,
Yeah.
do you know how to get to and past Bromilia from here?
Do I?
Yes, you do. It's a city where you've been.
Fair.
You know
yes.
it's the city past that stream in the forest.
That's the stream, or was it a waterfall? I don't remember. Well,
I
With its open
quit.
space.
then please,
I'm dying here, guys.
lead the way
I lead the way.
to then and beyond.
Okay.
All right, so as you guys set out on a new journey, this time towards the Court of Shadows itself, Hannah, you're going. Are we going with the normal rotation of travel, Miss Muffles?
I guess. Allison's gonna
Yeah.
try and act as if nothing's happening, so he will do his normal routine.
All right, so as we begin our travels, Hannah, go ahead and make a survival check. Iro, go ahead and make a perception check. And you know what? Because you have Lenore, we'll say that the one of you can aid the other. So Lenore can aid you, or you can aid Lenore in the perception check.
I think Lenore would aid me then.
Okay.
So I'm gonna first roll for Lenore. Ooh, that's going to be a 27
Sweet.
So-
All right. So you get a +1.
plus 1. Cool. I use my halfling luck
Very well, my good sir.
because this is a natural 1. That is great. That's going to be a 17
17 total with the +1.
with the +1. I rolled a 5.
During this day, as you guys pack up camp and begin to trek further into the forested areas, Iro, these winds that blow through the trees are very chilling and very cold. And now that you sort of left the, the danger behind, like you have beaten the Darklings here and the Fae are left behind, you can't help but lower your guard just a little bit to pull your clothes in a little bit closer, and you are not as perceptive as normal. In the meantime, Hannah, what was your survival check?
20.
20. All right, that's the exact DC that you need to traverse these lands correctly, so that's very nice. So with that, you lead your party once again over valleys and past creeks, or are they waterfalls? I'm not sure. What are words, English? Grakal is readying his weapons once again, and Allison, what are you doing with your life?
I will look for linden trees. Allison is thinking like, hey, maybe I need some more answers, and maybe I need some extra help with that. So I'm gonna use augury. I'm gonna try and do augury
All
at
right.
some point.
As these travels begin, as soon as Allison leaves the party behind just a little bit, you trail behind, you're not really off yet searching for all these different herbs. Zell eventually, not really aggressive, but tightly grips the top of your arm and pulls you close. And he says, "You do not have time anymore.
Not a lot, no.
What the fuck are you going to do?"
Seduce myself?
Allison, you do not have this day. As he skittishly looks at the rest of your party.
Maybe. You know what? I've got an idea. What I will try and do. Aro,
Yep.
this headache. Can I have a sip from your magical drink?
Yeah, probably. I get it from my hip. I swish it around a bit, and it seems full. So, yeah, we're traveling, so I'm probably not going to use it soon. So here, yeah, take a sip.
All right. Glub, 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 glub. Right. So go ahead and roll me a d20 in chat, please. Let's make this a visible one.
How do we do that?
Just exclamation mark d20.
12.
All right. That's a 12. So with that, you swish the potion around, at which moment it almost seemed to radiate a little bit. Is it just the light that comes through the foliage hitting it nice, or is it actually glowing out of itself? You uncork it, drink the potion. It is drank. You pass the empty bottle back to Iro.
Thanks. Let's hope that helps.
I hope so too.
What the fuck
And
was that?
Iro just walks further.
Did I receive a question?
What the fuck was that?
Ira received some magical potion that changes into something that is necessary at that moment. So I thought maybe if I drink it, it will reduce the symptoms.
But you still look like shit.
Do I still feel like shit?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
8 plus 16 is 24.
You feel sort of the same? Maybe you feel a bit better? I don't know.
Can't say. Alright, you know these symptoms better than I do. What's the first thing that's gonna hit me? Just being mad at people, or am I gonna die next morning if I walk outside?
I don't know for sure. The onset is different for everybody, but by the looks of it, I have no idea what's going to happen when you wake up tomorrow. Allison, are you... Look, I was a captive before. I am not anymore. Just fuck it. What do you want to do with... for fuck's sake. What do you want to do with them?
Okay. I'll tell them. I'm sure if they can help. Oh god, they're gonna hate me. Okay. I walk back to the group.
All of you hated me just a couple of days ago as well, so... Hey, who knows? Tick, tick. Pats on your back. Alright, so... As this goes on... let me just do one thing before all of that. That is... Let's see. Hannah, go ahead and roll me another d20 in chat to see what kind of random encounter we are getting this day.
Oh, dearie.
Oh, dairy.
Oh, dairy.
Oh, Lord.
11.
11.
Yes.
Alright, so... Allison, as you walk up back to the group, you summon the courage to tell them whatever it is that is happening. Let's see. Go ahead, Iro. You roll in chat. Let's see. How much was that? 2d6, please. So just roll a d6 and then roll a d6 again.
I'm gonna do that.
No, in chat, please. In chat, because this is a just random thing. Oh, thank you.
Sure. Let's have a look. So, first one is going to be a 5.
All right, so that's 5.
And the second one is a 4.
9
All right.
enemies. Fuck.
So, as you walk a little bit further, eventually, as Allison is catching up to the group again with Zell in tow, as you push through the foliage, you can see in front of you, well, 2 men just standing there at the beaten path that you guys are following right now. Both wielding, let me make sure that I have this correctly. There we go, yeah. Both carrying 2 crossbows, one in each pair of hands, as they are chewing on what seems to be some sort of chewing tobacco. And they spit it out. So, you are a tough man to track down, Lord Farclaw. As you can see now that as they turn their coat around, manacles are hanging on both sides, as from the woods different other men, all carrying crossbows. 9 of them in total, all step up. Bolts knocked. Local law
yeah.
enforcement would like to have a word with you. And that's where we'll end today's session.
Oh, sweet. That's gonna be
No!
I already-
a fest.
I already expected something like this, so I was already looking up my alias.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
They're not looking for me, they are looking for Iro Sifspa.
It's been so long since we've killed tons of humanoids. I love it. Can't
Yeah.
wait.
For
Damn
the
it.
people who don't know, Iro and Grakal eventually impersonated a local, a lord that was coming to visit to deceive the entire township to empty their entire guard as a display of strength into the wilds. It seems that now the real Lord Farclaw has come by, and everybody realized that these two were full of shit.
For
And-
what it's worth, Grakal's nowhere near clever enough to think of such a plan. This was all Iro.
And now you got some bounty hunters on your tail. Very nice. Very nice.
Fair.
That's your reaction?
Oh, I already looked at my alias. I was already ready to be like, no, you're not looking for us. You're probably looking for this other guy. My name is Iro Dornbeek. You're looking for this guy Iro Sifspa, probably.
This
How
isn't the
was your
first
day?
time people
I
have
think
gotten
I
us
saw
me.
him into the Shadowfell just a few inches back. You know, that river in the forest.
Waterfalls? No waterfalls.
So yeah, we got some nice things to do next week. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. This was a hell of a conversational episode. I loved every bit of it, and who the fuck knows where this adventure will go from now? Except that I guess we're going to the Court of Shadows now.
I guess Allison is dying.
I mean,
Elephant
it's
design.
pretty. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hilarious. I say we're playing both sides, and we're always gonna come out on top. I see no
yeah.
other way this ends.
Nah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. At least if Allison dies in this combat encounter, he just revives as a vampire. So that's nice.
Hey, that's something, you know?
Lovely. Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Sweet, he's gonna be our next big bad guy in the next campaign.
Who knows? Who knows? For now, at least, we must take our leaves, because with only 1 hour left in this weekend, we must also take our rest, for the work week is upon us. So, if you like what you saw and you don't know that we have social media, we do. So now you do. And next Friday, we will be streaming once again, where we stream some video game nonsense. And next Sunday, we will continue the adventures of the pack. So, enjoy the last hour of your weekend. We hope you had fun. I know I had. I hope all of my players at the table also had. We love you. Happy Valentine's Day. You are loved more than you know. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Ciao.